Hey everyone, Darren Benton again with Performance Motor Coaches. Wanted to do a video of an available 2025 Renegade XL. This will be our last 2025 XL. In fact, it'll be our last available XL for several months until the 2026s arrive. This coach is currently at our little warehouse in Indiana, but will be on its way to Texas, hopefully on Monday morning. We have another coach that's gonna make the trek over the weekend. Coach business is live and well with Performance Motor Coaches. It seems to be a lot of other people doing awfully well as in addition. So I wanted to do a quick video, kind of reference it. We've done several of this exact same floor plan. We've done, most of them have been sold, but we sold a few of these exact configurations in stock coach. This is a stock coach. This is the Renegade XL, so it's a 45 dBm, which actually puts you like at 44 and some change. So not quite 45 foot total length. The truck is the Cascadia. It's the 126, so a little bit longer hood than what you would see on the Explorer. It's the only Cascadia that's available with the 600 horse. So if you want the 600 horse, you have to go with a little bit longer hood. It is the DD16, which is 15.6 liter. It's 1850 torque. It's mated to the DT12 transmission, which is my favorite transmission. It's a little sluggish going through the gears, but I don't really drive these coaches from 0 to 40. I want to drive them on the highway, and I feel that the additional 6-speed, so this 12-speed versus the Allison 6-speed, is really beneficial in the hills. We sell a lot of DT12s. This is kind of my premier power package. I think it looks the part with the much taller front and rear caps on it as well. Renegade did a phenomenal job when they redesigned these. The XLs in 2024. Prior to 24, we were not an XL dealer. There were many things that we didn't necessarily agree with or really like on the XLs, and basically all those things were brought to attention in 2024 and then kind of rectified and changed. So this does have the same ceiling height as what you would get in a Classic. So the like 6 to 8 inches additional ceiling height. Front and rear caps that are elevated to match the awnings. Does have dual awnings. It does have the fake profiles on the other side. Great. This is, I think it's like a 4 or 5 color paint job. We do it a little bit different. So this is the Solstice paint job. We change out this kind of bluish green stripe for this white stripe, which I think is kind of gives it a classy look. I'm a little bit, might say more simple, basic, plain. So I've just done this paint scheme numerous times, replacing that blue stripe, and I think it just gives it a nice classy look. So the 45 dBm is very similar to the 45 CMR. We do have a stock CMR there at the dealership. If you're looking for a bunk over, you have to have the additional sleep for the bunk over, look at our CMR there at the dealership. So we'll have both of these going into spring and early summer for somebody that might want to jump on the road early in the summer. But so we'll be there. Go ahead and run into kind of some of my favorite attributes about Renegade, of course the XL as well. So the standard aqua is the 600 aqua hot on all of the XLs. It's optional on the Classics itself. So dual electric elements, a little bit higher BTU. Does have a third zone for your wet bay heating as well. This does have all of the lined baggage compartments. It has what they call a combined compartment right here. We've got the outdoor TV here. Outdoor TV comes out. Has that an angle here, an angle there. Or it pops back inside. We do have a little USB. It does have a 110. We can always put additional USB 110s, anything like that within it. We do have 2 110s in the baggage compartments here. That's something we tried to do. Should be able to accommodate only the key knife. Put that into place so it keep the mice out. So these are all fully locking. Of course, we've not gone through and adjusted all the baggage doors. Renegade is a phenomenal job. These coaches still need to be touched by a dealer. They do not need to be picked up at the factory, in my opinion. They need to be touched by a qualified dealer. That's where we come into place. We make things easier. You know, they do a good job as a manufacturer, but things need to be, just my point exactly. Should have to slam these things. So, and with the 1,000+ miles that it gets to our dealership, things shift and we can make those modifications once it gets back home. So, additional lights right there. We didn't do any additional clearance lights on this. It is an option. We've done several XLs. Most of our sold XLs, we try to reserve some of those options and then try to keep the stock XLs somewhat plain and basic. It's almost hard to say that because there's nothing really plain and basic about these coaches. They're very nice. It does have the 3/4 pass-through. We have parts here, and rather than trying to ship some of those parts back, we try to stick them in coaches at times, so that's what we have there. Some additional Freightliner parts that will go back to dealership. We do have the central vac when it's standard. We have a 110 up there on the left-hand side, and then we should have a 110 on the right-hand side and a 3/4 pass-through. So that goes pretty good ways underneath there. It's actually a door panel. If we ever get a scratch door panel, we just have some extras and whatnot. So it does have the security lights, so 2 on the right, 2 on the left, and then 1 on the rear. Nice 40,000-pound hitch assembly back here. The way it's set up right now, it's rated at 30,000 pounds. The nice Gen Y setup, so several different options for flat towing, bicycle racks, anything like that. I do have the, this is a trailer cam right here, just kind of focuses right on that, so if you're backing up, makes it a little bit easier. All of the XL starting 24 have a full like 360 camera system, so you'll have that one up top and then you'll have it one side and then each grill as well. So nice to have that 360 camera setup. Do have a trailer cam as well. Come around the side here. So we'll have a 50-amp buddy plug up on the left. We'll have an additional 110 outlet on the right, 36-foot short cord with transfer switch all in there. They brought the Stinky Slinky receptacle over here. Got some people that have asked about doing some of those. We'll make sure we have those in stock. If somebody wants to add some more, great spot for it. Gets it out of the wet bay. 12.5 Onan generator is standard. These are live axle. This is basically 8 tires and wheels on the back of the coach. So great for any kind of inclement weather. You can lock in your front axle left to right, kind of as a positive traction. You can lock your back axle in as well. So you can see we have a little bit more room once we got the Stinky Slinky receptacle out. You do have a hydronic register within that bay there. We do have the seal level monitoring, so we can check out what's going on with any of our tanks as well. This does have the standard gray and black cable dumps. In 2026, they will have automatic. They'll have automatic valves. That's something we have at the dealership, something we've added to coaches. Definitely not a problem to take and add it to this as well, so keep that in mind. Does have the optional macerator, so 75 gray, 75 gallon black. If that system does fail, essentially you just pull that little turnout, you pull your macerator pump off, and you can just do the old manual dump. So there are 12-volt heat pads that are on the bottom of this, and the hydronic register will kind of radiate some of the heat in there for really cold environments. Of course, this is turned into a standard setup, so dual Victron. These are 3,000 watts a piece. They're the regular Multi-Plus, not the Multi-Plus 2. So essentially, we can run air conditioner. You can pick any air conditioner, microwave. Now we can change things after the fact at the dealership if you wanted to add the heated tile floors, the inverter. So kind of keep that in mind. There's lots of different things we can do after the fact at the dealership level. So standard is 4 270 amp hour batteries. Chassis batteries there. We do have some additional 12-volt items within this. No breakers, but just fuses. And then that's your little quick disconnect to be able to air up the tires. Got some relays for your back compartments and such. Hydraulic slide on this side. And then the kitchen slide will be a Schwintek slide. Open this up. Does have the upgraded Villa leather captain seats in there. There again, we get some people that change these up to more of a trucker seat. Those are a comfortable seat. They are leather. They are heated. They are cooled. But some people just have different preferences. Anybody that wants to know, your air I like the trucker seats because you got a switch right there. It just drives me nuts. But matter of preference. Aesthetically, they look really, really nice. Just don't like the switch for the air ride. 18,000 pound front axle, got a 315 Michelin coach tires on the front, 295s on the rear. Let's go ahead and jump inside. So a little bit nicer. Of course, this has all the factory equipped or factory optioned stainless steel and the chrome baggage handles. We could do a coach. Basically, I can get you an XL in almost any paint scheme, just so you know, and I can get it with or without the stainless. I can get with black baggage handles. So not a problem as a custom order for somebody who might want to do something slightly different. So the drawer type is standard for the XLs. So I always like to do the video with the slides in. Now what's a little bit different on the theater seats versus the couches, the couch has a little bit less depth to it whenever you option the couch here. So a little bit more walk room. This is a fixed couch right here. It is not a jackknife. It is not a flip over. There's, we get some people, there's been some conversation about, hey, can we do a 72-inch couch over here? The problem is this is a 54. By the time you do a 72, it comes all the way back here. You really can't get through. You'd have to do a little bit smaller dinette. But we do a few different configurations on the Classic where we do get rid of the televator and then put the TV along the wall. So there's a few different things to kind of get around potentially. So if somebody has some real interest in being able to accommodate more sleeping, most people like to have the theater seats and then of course your TV over here and having that straight across. But there's a few different things to potentially talk about if somebody wanted that. But like I said, you can see I can still get it in and out of here. I'm over 200 pounds, 6 foot tall. Just gonna have to meander through here, but I can get to anything else that I might need. Included the fridge, including the half bath as well. So I get to anything that I might need to get. We'll go ahead and run the slide out. Hydraulic, so it is super fast. See where the magic happens. So lots of floor space. And that's a flush-ish floor, so you can see it goes downwards. And then this will stay up. It's a very open feel. The biggest difference if you do the CMR, which is basically the Classic equivalent of this, it has a full height cabinet here that isolates it. But we've done several CMRs with the same configuration as that. I kind of like this idea right here, nice little coffee bar station right here, and then a little bit more open entry. Now, there again, if you were comparing this coach to a CMR, the CMR, well, I guess the Classics don't have a cap. The XLs do. They have to drop a few inches, and then they reconfigure this bathroom. So if you were in a CMR, you'd have this much room. If you're in this 45 dBm, it's basically a little bit narrow just because of the configuration. But I can still get to anything I might need to get to here. Get all the hominy out. Every one of them. Cases of hominy and beef jerky. So electrical up top and bottom here. Awning controls up top there. So this is, I think this is Ainsley quartz countertop here. This is a Cambria quartz, which was U.S. built, and then this is a Rockport stain on the standard XL cabinetry. So nice look to it. Fair amount of room. They get a little bit smaller once you get in the slide here. But you got a ton of extra space here. They basically kind of did a standardization in the kitchen. So if a person wanted a dishwasher, essentially the dishwasher would go in the confines of this. I like to have that big giant drawer right there for extra pots and pans, cookie sheets, anything like that. But everything is, they're all soft close. They're all dovetail as well. Let's see this right here. Automatic window shades, standard, dovetail. Looks like an AV center right here. We have ordered most of our custom coaches, which is a drawer here instead of their AV. But if you want to retain some of the AV stuff, that's where it would go. But we can always reconfigure that stuff after the fact. Now, if you'll notice any of these coaches with a kitchen slide, you're always going to have some type of fixed cabinet, because if you look really carefully back there, well, that thing doesn't even go all the way back. But back here is where all your plumbing basically moves whenever the slide comes in and out. So you need that fixed cabinet next to it to be able to accommodate that stuff. Subwoofer soundbar as well. Soundbar is up top, subwoofer's underneath there, but nice layout. I'm going to open up my window shades back up. So did the big giant picture windows. We did no fabric on any of the window valances. I think there's a little bit classier look myself. Less likely to date once you start adding fabric to this stuff right here as opposed to the wood. So nice big picture window. I'm going to be able to see straight out over here as well. So just my preference. I kind of like the setup. Nice easy entry in and out of the cab. Now I brought this up a few times. The Classics for 2026 will have this same opening right here, and we'll have a bed that slides back and forth. So less trips to the doctor whenever you bump your head. But of course, it's not an issue with the XL. You got a ton of room to be able to get in and out. These are turning pedestals. About the only thing that's really added to these. Renegade adds this Garmin. This is your trailer cam and your hitch cam, but then only when it's docked, but that will serve as a secondary GPS. It does have TomTom GPS there. It does have the Excite 360 cam built in there, so several different windows and views there. Up top, all heated tile floors, which will be standard. Theater seats, that's an upgrade. Standard Villa leather seat. This is a thing they started doing about a year ago. Step cover. Like a sign spinner. Little cubby hole there, but they are not heated or cooled. They're just simply power. There again, fixed dinette, because this is the Cambria quartz, and then you do have dual 110s and USB with USB-Cs there. The big refrigerator right here. I'm not paying enough attention to this refrigerator. I think given the opportunity, I know I talked a lot of trash this refrigerator. Shawnee would want this refrigerator. It's pretty fancy. So, looky here, cold cuts there. And then, but look at this. There's a little, look at all that. Ice scoop. See that ice scoop? Shawnee, do you need one of these? Huh? See, it goes right there. Isn't that fancy? Perfect. And then, so there's a lock there too. Well, maybe I'm dumb. Maybe I broke the lock. I know that there's these aftermarket locks, but you put a whole gallon of milk right there. A whole gallon. Or if you need to cool your hominy after you warmed it up, right there, the whole thing fits right in. 1 gallon. It has metal cooling. You see that? Oh. Metal cooling. Metal. I like it because it's not right back behind the driver, so if you pass by it. We've got dinner at Nick and Jane's, so you know. All right, back at it, guys. So, well, half bath here. Got the Max Air in both baths, standard. Lots of room right here. Window right there. Convertible shelving all within these guys. Chrome faucets. I'll give you a free pair of cotton gloves so you don't have to. A little tight in here, but a little bit better hardware. Flip it open. Nice thing about this split setup right here. The bad thing when they stack them is if you have to work on one, you got to pull them both out. So it's kind of a pain. So this right here, it makes it a little bit easier. I can pull the dryer out all by myself, but it's a little bit tighter, so you probably don't want to have 2 people in here. I think it's better to have it separated. I kind of like this setup right here. And look at that. Don't overload that circuit, Daryl. So normally you can only run one side at a time. Daryl's overloading circuits. So both Schwintek slides back there. So just did the standard 66-inch wide bed as opposed to the 72. The reason why, I like the more walkway room. We're going to fix that for 2026. We're going to change that for 2026. But there's been many occasions what people wanted to upgrade to a 72. We take and uninstall this from the wall, and then just basically bring this up. We do a little bit wider mattress, but still have a ton of walk room around that. So lots of different things we can definitely do after the fact. I don't know how I messed up this one, guys. I messed this one up. I've been doing a lot of drawers below here. So the cabinet doors, I won't make that mistake again, guaranteed. Anyway, this does not have the drawers, but I just like the drawers look better. But maybe you have all pressed items that you need the full length. Put your tablecloth on a. Look at that! Look at all those, man. You can tell I don't like fingerprints, right? So, but a ton of room in here. You can put all of your fine clothing in here. I'll be able to access it from both sides. 43-inch TV. Little AV center down here. There again, we're trying to turn those into just a solid core door or solid door. Got drawers there that are all soft close and dovetail as well. Underneath the bed. Come check this out, kids. So I started doing this. Little shocks on there. So, holy moly. Just a little bit stouter shock, kids. So anyway, we'll go back to shock store. So the idea is for this to hold this up, but it doesn't do it. So anyway, if you ever need to do any kind of winterization, you'll have to flip up the whole bed. The whole bed still does flip up. Very easy. Be able to inspect your water tanks. Of course, your hydronic register on each side of the bed. And she comes down. But it's the thought that counts. And we've had a few of them stay up. So a little bit of deviation from 24 to 25 on the showers. I believe 26s, they'll do a little bit different panel here. But this will be the same. The overhead will be the same. We'll still have these guys right here. And then still have a little bit smaller mosaic tile optional here. Now what will change in the rear bass is they're going to do like a tile wainscot all the way around. From that wall all the way around. I don't know how I feel about that. It's different. What do you think? I kind of. At first, I wasn't a fan of the mosaic tile, but now I'm kind of gonna be. It's just a nice little touch. You know, a little bit softer than the larger tile. But this guy right here, the best RV shower you'll need your entire life. You only have 2 of them though. It uses some water, but nice setup to be able to reward yourself at the end of the day with a nice spa-like treatment in your RV shower. Do you have a little handheld if you're trying to retain or trying to cut down on water use? So do you have some options there? Now this, been bragging on this for a little bit, guys. So do you even see the rails? Do you even see where you get crap down in there? No, you don't see it anymore. Well, that's pretty fancy. So my old saying was, showers, they would have to click. You basically have to put the little deal over, click, and they change them up again to put this little plastic piece to go in there, and they'd break, and it was a giant pain in the rear. But here we are, late 2025. You ready? Are you ready for this? You ready? Did you just see what happened there? Boom, right there. Excited about that. I'm really excited about that. Very cool setup. Nice teak seat in here. Ton of room. Ton of room. Beautiful mirror. Convertible shelving there. No window. 2026 window. Another thing we've talked about. So in the classics, we can do two drawer sets on either side of here. I think maybe we'll work on that a little bit. But color's phenomenal. I think this is, you know, one of the better setups inside and outside. Something that's probably going to transcend time. The lack of doing a lot of fabrics on your window valances and such. Going to stay a little bit cooler with it being white and silver. So we sell a lot of these out west where the sun really beats down. So all in all, I think a very good luck. Premier power plant. Basically kind of check every box on this Renegade XL. So it is available. Check it out on our website. It's pmcrv.com. Give us a call at any point in time. Send us an email. We're always open to hear what you guys think about these coaches as well. Let us know. Be back in Texas tomorrow or next week. It's Earth Roamer week next week. It's going to be a big week, kids. So get ready. Earth Roamer's coming out of the ear. So never know what we're doing. Never know where we're going. Always appreciate you guys watching these videos. Make sure you guys like, tag, and subscribe.